Zelenskyy ready to meet Putin in Turkey for talks to end Russia-Ukraine war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said he is hoping for a full and temporary ceasefire with Russia starting Monday, adding he would be in Turkey to negotiate with Russian President Vladimir Putin personally. His comments came after U.S. President Donald Trump insisted Ukraine accept Russia's latest offer of holding direct talks in Turkey on Thursday. Ukraine, along with European allies, had demanded Russia accept an unconditional 30-day ceasefire starting on Monday before holding talks, but Moscow effectively rejected the proposal and called for direct negotiations instead. It was not clear if Zelenskyy was conditioning his presence in Turkey on the Monday ceasefire holding. We await a full and lasting ceasefire, starting from tomorrow, to provide the necessary basis for diplomacy. There is no point in prolonging the killings. And I will be waiting for Putin in Taiwan for Turkey on Thursday. Personally, I hope that this time the Russians will not look for excuses, he wrote on X. Trump said in a social media post Sunday that Ukraine should agree to Putin's peace talks proposal immediately. At least they will be able to determine whether or not a deal is possible, and if it is not, European leaders, and the US, will know where everything stands, and can proceed accordingly. Trump wrote, adding have the meeting, now. Ukraine, allies insist on a ceasefire. Zelenskyy, writing on X on Sunday, said it was a positive sign that the Russians have finally begun to consider ending the war and said that the entire world has been waiting for this for a very long time. He added, however, that the very first step in truly ending any war is a ceasefire, in a reference to his proposal to start a 30-day unconditional truce on Monday. Putin in remarks to the media overnight effectively rejected that ceasefire offer and proposed restarting direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on Thursday instead without preconditions. He said a ceasefire might be agreed on during the negotiations but stressed that the Kremlin needs a truce that would lead to a lasting peace instead of one that would allow Ukraine to rearm and mobilize more men into its armed forces. Putin's counter-offer came after leaders from 4 major European countries threatened to ratchet up pressure on Moscow if it does not accept an unconditional 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. French President Emmanuel Macron, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk met with Zelenskyy in Kiev on Saturday and issued a coordinated call for the truce starting Monday. The plan has received backing from both the European Union and Trump. The leaders pledged tougher sanctions on Russia if Putin did not accept the proposal. Zelenskyy, in his Sunday remarks, reiterated that call. There is no point in continuing the killing even for a single day. We expect Russia to confirm a ceasefire full, lasting, and reliable starting tomorrow, and Ukraine is ready to meet, the Ukrainian leader said on X. Macron said Sunday that Putin's offer of direct negotiations with Ukraine is a first step, but not enough, signaling continued Western skepticism toward Moscow's intentions. An unconditional ceasefire is not preceded by negotiations, Macron told reporters at the Polish-Ukrainian border, according to French media. Macron also warned that Putin is looking for a way out, but he still wants to buy time. Moscow presses on with peace talks offer. Turkey says it's ready to host. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, in comments aired by Russian state TV on Sunday, called Putin's proposal very serious, aimed at eliminating the root causes of the conflict, and said it confirms a real intention to find a peaceful solution. Without directly mentioning Moscow's proposal, Trump said in a social media post several hours after Putin's overnight remarks that it was a potentially great day for Russia and Ukraine. Think of the hundreds of thousands of lives that will be saved as this never-ending bloodbath hopefully comes to an end, Trump wrote. I will continue to work with both sides to make sure that it happens. The USA wants to focus, instead, on rebuilding and trade. A big week upcoming. He added. In another post on Sunday, the US president said Ukraine should accept Moscow's offer to meet on Thursday, in Turkey, to negotiate a possible end to the bloodbath. He added, however, that he was starting to doubt that Ukraine will make a deal with Putin. Putin spoke Sunday to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who expressed readiness to host the talks, the Kremlin said. According to the Kremlin's readout of the phone call, Erdogan fully supported the Russian proposal, emphasizing his readiness to provide a platform for the talks in Istanbul, as well as all possible assistance in organizing and holding the negotiations aimed at achieving sustainable peace. Erdogan also spoke to Macron on Sunday, according to a statement from the Turkish Presidential Communications Office, and said that a historic turning point had been reached in efforts to end the war. Russian attacks continue. Meanwhile, Russia resumed mass drone attacks in Ukraine early on Sunday, after its self-declared 3-day pause expired. Swipe left for next video. Russia launched 108 attack drones and simulator drones from 6 different directions, Ukraine's Air Force said. It said 60 drones were shot down and another 41 simulator drones failed to reach targets due to Ukrainian countermeasures. The Russian Defense Ministry on Sunday accused Ukraine of violating Moscow's 3-day ceasefire more than 14,000 times. Ukraine, which did not agree to the May 810 ceasefire, has also accused Russia of violating its own truce, with the Ukrainian foreign minister calling it a farce. Latest blogs.